Have you ever sewn a zipper into a dress only for you to try it on, or whoever you made the dress for tries it on and see the annoying bulge at the back? No matter how carefully you stitched it, something still looks off. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you exactly how to fix a zipper so it lays flat, smooth and perfectly invisible, no back bulge at all. This is the method that completely changed my dressmaking results, and once you learn it, you'll never install a zipper the old way again. Especially if you have to fix a zip on a fabric that is stretchy, or you have to fix a zip on an outfit that does not have joining on the half length. It sometimes comes out difficult and it might sometimes give you bulge at the back if you are not careful. Let's fix that zip for good. So for this dress, the fabric is very stretchy, and for this dress it's an outfit that does not have joining on the half length, as you can see. So to eliminate bulge on your zip is not just from when fixing the zip, it starts with when you are cutting your fabric. In fact, if you drafted pattern first before transferring to your fabric, eliminating zip bulge starts from when you are drafting your pattern, not just from when you are cutting your fabric. If the style you are cutting is a style that you've drafted on your pattern paper first, then you have to start eliminating the zip bulge from your pattern before transferring to your fabric. So this dress is starting from the shoulder line to the hip line, and what I did was, after cutting the front and the back panel, I marked the zip allowance. I chalked it because once I open the front like this, I might not be able to easily identify the zip allowance if I did not mark it. So that I can easily identify the zip allowance when I remove the front panel from it, I had to mark it. Then for the whole of my zip allowance, I used to 1.5 inch. So what I did after removing the front panel from it was to measure the half length. You know, half length for front is always different from half length for back. Half length for back is mostly shorter than the half length for the front. So the half length for the front of this dress is actually 17, but for the back I used 15.5 for the half length. So I measured that 15.5 and I marked it. After measuring the 15.5, on that point of 15.5, which is the half length for the back, I had to deduct 1 inch from the zip allowance. That's to say, around the waistline at the back, I used zip allowance of half inch instead of 1.5 that I've used as zip allowance. So these are some of the tricks that helps you to eliminate the zip bulge. The first one is that the zip allowance on the waistline must be smaller than the zip allowance that you've used. Another thing is your half length on the front must be longer than the half length on the back. So the back half length has to be shorter than the front half length. So that part where you will use half inch as zip allowance on the back, which is the half length, it must be shorter than the half length for the front. These are some of the things that help you to eliminate zip bulge in your blouse or your gown. It's not just this. So when I was done reducing the zip allowance on the half length, I trimmed it out. And don't forget, I told you that this fabric that I'm working with is very stretchy. So I have that at the back of my mind. So if you trim out the zip allowance on the waistline like that, you will see that it will be giving you like a figure eight kind of, even before you stitch your zip on top of it. So that is it for the cutting. It's now time to sew the zip. I'll be using invisible zip for this project. So the first thing I did was to put the zip on the zip allowance and marked the length that I want the zip to be on the dress. That's to say, you mark how long you want your zip to be on the dress. I don't just assume it. I used to place my zip on the zip allowance and figure it out with my eyes. I'll mark the length. So after marking the length, the next thing I did was to stitch down what was remaining on my dress. So in a case where you are sewing a dress like this, you have to stitch down what is remaining before fixing your zip. Don't fix your zip first and go back to stitching it down. Stitch it down first. What is remaining, that's the part where the zip will not get to. Stitch it down first before fixing your zip. So now it's time to fix the zip. Another tip to eliminating zip bulge, which is very important, this particular tip is very important, is to fix your zip with the person's measurement. I repeat, fix your zip with the person's measurement. Let me tell you a secret. Even if you didn't remember to eliminate your zip bulge on your pattern, or you didn't remember to eliminate your zip bulge when you were cutting your fabric. You see, at this point, trust me when I tell you that you can still eliminate your zip bulge. As much as it is always advisable to start eliminating your zip bulge from when you are drafting your pattern or when you are cutting your fabric, at this point, I see that this point is the most important time that you eliminate your zip bulge, and that is when you want to fix the zip itself. And the secret is you fixing your zip with the person's measurement. Don't just fix it. Don't just say, after all, I used 1 inch as the zip allowance. It's just to take out the 1 inch and stitch my zip on the 1 inch. No, make sure that you are fixing your zip with the person's measurement. Whether you are sewing a jumpsuit, a gown, a blouse, whatever it is you are sewing that has a fitted zip at the back, make sure that you always fix that zip with the person's measurement. Try this method and come back and give me feedback if your zip has been bulging at the back. As soon as you start fixing your zip with the person's measurement, you will see that that zip bulge will be completely eliminated. So moving forward on how to fix zip with measurement, the first thing you have to do is check if the fabric you are fixing your zip on is stretchy or not stretchy, and that is what you see me doing here, trying to pull it to check how stretchy my fabric is. So when you are done doing this, the next thing is to measure your sewing allowance. If your fabric is stretchy, I would advise that you deduct from the person's actual measurements up to 1.5 or 2 inches. So in my case, this person's bust is 42. Instead of 42, I'll be dividing 40 because my fabric is stretchy and I know that it will still meet up to her body size. So what I did was, starting from the allowance side, I measured the 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Then I divided our bust by 4 and I marked 10. Starting from the 1.5 inch sewing allowance, I marked 10. Don't forget I said my fabric is stretchy and I've deducted 2 inches from my measurements before dividing. And you have to start measuring from the sewing allowance side to the zip side. You have to start from the sewing allowance side to the zip side. This is not negotiable. So you do this to the waistline. I consider first hip when I'm sewing a fitted dress. It's basically the skirt waist. I just call it first hip because I consider that part of the body as well. Not just when I'm sewing a skirt. I consider it when I'm sewing any fitted dress at all. So I did this to our first hip and I did it to the actual hip. And I deducted 2 inches from all the measurement. If you are fixing a zip on a fabric that is stretchy, I would advise that you don't use the actual measurement. Deduct 1.5 or 2 inches from it before your division. So when I was done getting all these points, the bust, the waist, the first hip and the actual hip, I fixed my zip on that point. I fixed my zip on those exact points that I've marked on the bust, the waist, the first hip and the actual hip. There is no how you fix your zip this way and it will bulge. It cannot swell up at the back because this is literally you fixing your zip on the person's exact measurement. Like there is no negotiation. This zip will just lay flat on the person's back. There won't be any form of bulkiness or bulge around the zip area at all. So this is one side. I still have to fix my zip on the other side. When I get to the other side, when I'm done with this side, I don't necessarily have to start measuring the way I measured on this first side. All I have to do is to close up my zip, and it's always advisable to open up and give your zip a good press if the zip you are using is an invisible zip and you want it to be very, very close. You have to press it before you even fix it, and when you are pressing it, it has to be opened, not zipped. You have to unzip it to press it before you even fix it on your dress, so that it will be very, very close. That's if you are using an invisible zip. So now I'm done with this one side. For the other side, I flipped it to the other side and I don't necessarily have to measure. I just have to make sure that the allowance, the sewing allowance, are on the same level. The sewing allowance for the two back panels are on the same level. One should not be longer than the other. Like one should not come out than the other. As long as the sewing allowance are on the two level, then automatically the allowance that will be left for me to fix the zip on will be the same on both sides. As long as the sewing allowance are on the same level, the allowance that will be left for you to fix the zip on will be the same on both sides, and this will just naturally and automatically follow the person's back once you are fixing it. So these are the steps you have to take when you are fixing a zip, especially on a gown or especially an invisible zip, and you don't want it to bulge at all. There is no how you will use all the methods I've mentioned in this tutorial and your zip will still bulge. Now, when I was done fixing the zip, this is what it's looking like after zipping it up. You can see that it is as neat and close as much as possible. Even when I'm pulling it, like hardly will you see. I deliberately used a shade that is a little bit lighter than the shade of this my fabric for the dress, so that when I open it up after fixing, you won't even see it. You understand what I'm saying? So that is it on how to fix a zip in a way that the zip bulge will be eliminated. Look at the outcome of this zip that I fixed. You need to see this dress on the owner. It's laid so flat on the back. Now, I made a detailed tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew this dress, and I just decided to do the zip part of it in another video. If you are interested in watching the tutorial on how I was able to cut and sew this dress, just click on the box either on the right or on the left side of your screen. Both of them are tutorials that will take you directly to the cutting and sewing of this dress. You can also check the description box below. The links to those tutorials are there. They are so detailed on how I was able to cut and sew this beautiful maxi dress from start to finish. My name is Oluwatosin, in case it's the first time you are seeing my channel, and you're welcome. In case you are new here, please consider subscribing, and don't just subscribe, turn on notification bell so that YouTube will notify you next time I upload a new tutorial on this channel, because on this channel I upload sewing tutorials on daily basis. In case you have any question, please ask me down below. My comment section is always open to welcome all of your questions. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye.